You are welcome to this video. Today we will be talking about basic formulas in Excel. I'll be showing you basic formulas in Excel and how to apply them. Basically, uh, formulas help you to make calculations in Excel, whether it is sum, subtraction, multiplication, division, finding averages, and lots more. So there are a whole lot of results you can achieve with Microsoft Excel. In fact, Microsoft Excel can actually help you to a very long extent to automate your calculations. So the first thing to know, whenever you want to impute a formula in any cell, right now we are on cell C5. This is cell C5 right now. You can see the name here, cell C5. Let's close this. Okay, so we are on cell C5, and if we want to enter a formula, probably want to make a calculation. Let's say we use the equal to sign to indicate to the spreadsheet that we are about to enter a formula. So we press the equal to sign. Is the equal to sign. So let's say we are calculating 2 plus 5. Enter 2 plus 5. Hit enter. That gives us 7. So we can actually calculate any number. We can also carry out divisions. Let's say on the second cell, let's carry out division. Let's say 8 divide by 4. That's 2. So we can carry out calculations like this. But there's also another way we can carry out calculations by what we call cell referencing. So if we have a number here, let's say we have 3 here, we have 8 here, we have, let's say 6 here. So, and then here we want to reference, instead of entering 3 plus 8 plus 6, of course it will give us the same result, but instead of entering it like that manually, we can just do what we call cell referencing by referencing the cell. After entering the equal to sign in the box in the cell where you want to carry out the calculation, you take your cursor to the cell containing the number you want to reference. In this case, cell A2. We want to reference cell A2. Then plus, we add the other number in cell. We'll also reference cell A3. We have another number there in cell A3. Plus, we also reference cell A4, the last number there. We hit enter. We are getting the same result, 17. So why is this good? It's to automate our calculation so that even if a number changes in any of those cells, we won't have to go back and start changing the numbers. For example, this number 3 can change to 7. You can see the calculation will automatically change. It has changed to 21. But if we didn't reference the cell A2, if we had used 3 without referencing the cell A2, this calculation will not change. Let's go back and put 3 here. Let's go back to the formula. Let's erase this by pressing backspace. So equal to 3 plus 8 plus 6. We are getting 17, right? We're getting the same answer. Now, let's change this figure here, 3. Let's change it back to 7. You can see this did not change. The output did not change. Why? Because we didn't reference the cell. We only used 3, which is just an absolute number. We only used 3, which is a raw number. We didn't reference the cell. So we just, the 3 is still there in this box. But if we had referenced the cell, this number will also change dynamically. So that is the benefit of referencing cells, so that if any number changes, probably you have a school and then you are carrying out a calculation on the, you have, let's say, numbers of students in every class. So let's say from class 1 to class 4, you have, let's say, 30 students in class 1, 40 students in class 2, and we all know that those numbers do change. So instead of imputing 30 plus 40 plus 50 students in class 3 plus 60 students in class 4, why not just reference the cells? So class 1 has, let's just take an example. Let's just take that example. Let's wipe this. Let's clear this. So let's say class 1, class 1, class 2, and class 3. The format is still there, the bold format. We can remove this bold. So let's say class 1 has 30 students, class 2 has 40 students, and then class 3 has 50 students. So you can see how important it is to always reference cells. So instead of saying 30 plus 40 plus 50, which gives us 120. So let's say the second term, if the number of students in class 1, let's say, reduces from 30 to 28, you can see that number is not updated. So in real life application, it is actually good to reference cells like this, especially when you have dynamic type of data. So you can see that the next session, the number of students changed from 30 to 28, which was not updated here because this person didn't reference the cell. But if this person had referenced the cell to say, okay, instead of typing in the raw numbers, let's reference the cell, the class 1 cell. Reference the class 2 cell, and then also reference the class 3 cell. You can see the number has reduced dynamically. So in the next session, let's say class 2 increases, the number of students in class 2 increases from 40 to 45. You can see the number increases, the total number of students increases dynamically. So this is the benefit, this is the use case of cell referencing in carrying out calculations. So you can also do a couple of other calculations. You can carry out a couple of other calculations. You can find the average number of students. Let's clear this with the backspace. So let's find the average number of students. There's a formula for that, equal to, you type in average. There's a function that helps you calculate the average. So this is the average function. You double tap, then you reference the cells that you want to find the average. You reference the cells. So these are the cells you can drag, hit enter. So the average number of students per class is 41. So we could be asking the principal of the school, how many, what's the average number of students per class? And the principal should be able to say, oh, I have 41 on the average, even though we have 28 in class 1, 45 in class 2, and 50 in class 3, but the average altogether is 41 students. This helps, for planning. We can also subtract So subtraction goes like this. Let's say 50 minus 30. We're having 20. You can also reference cells when we are subtracting. So by saying, let's say class 3 minus the number of students in class 2. We just want to know the difference between class 1 and class 2. Just want to know the difference in the number of students. So the difference is 5. We can also say, okay, let us know the difference in numbers between class 2 and class 1. We have 17 students. So these are the use cases of the basic formulas that we have. You can also multiply. You can say, okay, let's say we are multiplying this 28 by, let's say 3. We are multiplying each by 3. So this is how to use the multiplication. Let me remove this. So to multiply, you simply, this is just an example, it's a rough example. To multiply, you can also reference the cells or do it manually or enter the numbers manually. If we are referencing the cell, we can say 28 multiplied by this cell C3. So B3, we are referencing B3 and C3. So we are multiplying. So we've been able to multiply 28 or cell B3 and cell C3. And we've gotten the answer 84. We can also do the same thing here by entering and then multiplying this and this. But if we have a long data, instead of entering the values manually, multiplying and going to cell D5 to enter the same number 50, or cell B5 multiplied by cell C5, instead of doing that, we can simply just drag. So we can drag from the previous cell having the multiplication, and that works. We can just drag and that works. So you can confirm that it works by going to a new cell to say 50 multiplied by 3. Of course, 50 multiplied by 3 is 150. 50 multiplied by 3 is 150. So you can see it works. So this is all for today on how to use basic formulas. You can play around. You can go open your Microsoft Excel and play around with numbers. You know how to use multiplication, addition, and division. Thank you. We'll see another day.